All right, Bears fans, let's dive deep into the latest happenings surrounding the Chicago Bears because there's a lot to unpack, and trust me, this season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent years. Starting with the big news that has everyone talking. Micah Parsons heading to Green Bay. That trade alone changes the entire landscape for the Bears and really sets a tone for how the rest of the season could unfold. The presence of Parsons in the division means that whoever is playing left tackle for Chicago will have an immediate, monumental challenge twice a year, and it's going to be a major test for the offensive line. Whether it's Braxton Jones or another player stepping into that role, the adjustment period will be intense, and the coaching staff will need to put every possible strategy in place to give their quarterback a fighting chance. The reality is that Parsons is a unique specimen of an athlete, combining strength, speed, and relentless aggression. Even matchups against top-tier defenders like Darnell aren't straightforward. And while the Bears have talent on their roster, containing a player like Parsons consistently is a whole other level of difficulty. Looking beyond just the left tackle situation, the Bears' edge group has shown some gaps that will need addressing. With Parsons off the board, the realistic options for significant trades are limited. Players like Zadarius Smith and Java Clowney might be considered as incremental upgrades, but they don't carry the same game-changing potential. Trey Hendrickson's recent pay raise to stay with Cincinnati further reduces the pool of available elite pass rushers this season. This doesn't mean the Bears won't make adjustments. Smaller moves can still influence the team's performance. Elevating players from the practice squad, finding the right rotational pieces, or even making calculated mid-season trades could all be on the table as the season progresses. Names might re-emerge as the trade deadline approaches, but for now, it's about maximizing what the current roster could deliver while staying realistic about the challenges ahead. The ripple effects of Parsons landing in Green Bay extend into game planning, personnel decisions, and even strategic approaches like using 12 personnel packages more frequently. The Bears will likely need to rely on formations that offer additional blockers to give their left tackle some help and to mitigate the pressure coming from both Parsons and other defensive threats like Rashawn Gary. This isn't just a minor tactical adjustment. It's a shift that could define how the Bears approach crucial divisional matchups throughout the season. Every snap against these high-powered defenses will require precise communication, disciplined execution, and the ability to adapt on the fly. The offensive line will be under the microscope, and their performance could very well dictate the overall success of the team. When we look at the quarterback position, Caleb Williams' development is critical to the Bears' offensive trajectory. There's a lot of potential in Caleb, but questions remain about how big his jump will be this season. His rookie year had moments of brilliance mixed with growing pains, and now the expectation is that he takes a significant step forward. Whether that improvement pushes him into the top 20, top 15, or even flirting with the top 10 in terms of performance. Much of the season will depend on his ability to execute under pressure and lead the offense against tough opponents. The surrounding cast will play a role as well. Offensive linemen like Carlson Loveland, Cole Cat, and others will need to deliver consistent protection, while skill position players must create separation and capitalize on scoring opportunities. The chemistry between the quarterback and his targets, as well as the effectiveness of blocking schemes, will all combine to define how explosive this offense can be. Injuries are another layer of complexity. The Bears have seen key players sidelined, and the depth chart will need to be tested. Elevating players from the practice squad, such as veterans familiar with Dennis Allen's defensive schemes, might provide short-term solutions, but the expectation is for younger or rotational players like Mont Swat and Dongbois to make tangible impacts. The team's defensive line rotation will be particularly scrutinized because the lack of experienced pass rushers limits flexibility. Daniel Hardy, for example, offers special teams value, but is more of a rotational piece than a game-changing defender. The coaching staff will need to balance development with immediate performance, ensuring that the team can compete effectively while giving younger players the experience they need to grow. The broader picture for the Bears also involves watching how their division rivals maneuver. Green Bay's roster, even after losing some players like Kitty Clark, remains formidable on the edges. Their combination of talent means that games between the Bears and Packers will likely be strategic battles, with every defensive alignment and offensive adjustment having outsized importance. Preparation for these matchups will dominate practice weeks, and the team's ability to adapt to elite pass rushers like Parsons will be a defining factor in the Bears' divisional standing. These games are more than just contests. They're measuring sticks for how competitive the Bears can be in their pursuit of playoff contention. Moving forward, evaluating the team's draft choices and offseason moves becomes essential. Decisions like drafting offensive linemen in the first round or trading back for additional picks illustrate a commitment to long-term building while trying to remain competitive in the present. Players such as Josh Simmons, Arani Ursary, and others are being counted on to contribute immediately while also developing into key components of the team's foundation. The success of these decisions is tied directly to player development, coaching, and in-game adjustments. College football performances and emerging talent also offer a preview of potential future reinforcement for the Bears, highlighting the continuous cycle of scouting, drafting, and nurturing talent to maintain a competitive edge. Every week brings new narratives, from matchups in college football that indicate upcoming draft prospects to ongoing debates about trades and roster composition. Fans and analysts alike are dissecting every move, from pass rush strategy to offensive schemes, because these decisions have long-term implications. The Bears' ability to navigate injuries, maximize talent, and compete against top-tier opponents will define the season storylines. From managing the pressures of division games to evaluating potential trades, the team faces a complex and dynamic environment that requires constant attention and adaptation. As the season progresses, the Bears' coaching staff and players will be challenged to make critical decisions under pressure. Adjustments to lineups, strategic plays, and game day rotations will all factor into whether the Bears can achieve consistent success. Every snap against a talented defense, every blitz absorbed by the offensive line, and every decision made by the quarterback contributes to the unfolding narrative of the season. Fans will be watching closely, dissecting performance, and analyzing the implications of each play, because the stakes in the NFC North are always high, and the Bears are positioned in a way. Off the field, preparation and strategic planning are just as important as execution on game day. Scouting opponents, analyzing tendencies, and implementing adjustments based on evolving rosters are all part of the complex chess match that is professional football. The Bears staff must anticipate challenges, identify potential mismatches, and prepare the team to respond effectively. This includes understanding the nuances of opposing quarterbacks, defensive alignments, and situational play calling. The ability to process this information quickly and translate it into actionable decisions in real time will be a defining factor in the Bears' performance throughout the season. Each coach, analyst, and player contributes to this intricate ecosystem, and their collective effort will determine whether the team can turn potential into tangible results. As the season progresses, the impact of college football and emerging talent also plays a role in shaping the Bears' future. Scouts and analysts are constantly evaluating collegiate players who could enter the draft in the coming years, looking for potential game changers at positions of need. The performances of standout athletes in high-profile college matchups often influence perceptions of how the Bears might address roster gaps in the future. Edge rushers, quarterbacks, and offensive linemen are all under scrutiny as the team seeks to maintain competitiveness while building a foundation for sustained success. Every college game provides insights not only for fans, but also for the Bears' decision-makers as they project the evolution of their roster and plan for both immediate needs and long-term development. Looking at upcoming matchups, the Bears will face a series of challenges that test both strategy and resilience. Divisional games are particularly intense, as familiarity breeds both opportunity and difficulty. Opposing teams understand tendencies, player strengths, and areas of vulnerability, meaning that preparation must be meticulous. Every adjustment, whether through personnel rotations, play calling variations, or situational adaptations, can influence the outcome. The Bears' ability to execute under pressure, capitalize on opportunities, and limit mistakes will determine not only win-loss records, but also the confidence and momentum heading into the later stages of the season. Each game is a microcosm of larger team dynamics, revealing strengths, exposing weaknesses, and highlighting areas for improvement. Player development remains a continuous storyline. Young athletes on the roster have the potential to become key contributors, but their progression depends on game experience, coaching guidance, and their ability to absorb complex schemes. Quarterbacks must refine their decision-making, reading defenses accurately and adjusting to pressure in real time. Offensive linemen must continue to master coordination, balance, and communication to protect the quarterback effectively. Skill position players must create separation, execute routes precisely, and capitalize on scoring opportunities. On defense, emerging pass rushers, coverage specialists, and rotational linemen must demonstrate both athleticism and situational awareness to maintain effectiveness against high-powered offenses. The interplay between individual growth and team cohesion will dictate how the Bears navigate the rigors of a full NFL season. Fan engagement and analysis also contribute to the broader narrative. Social media discussions, live reactions, and ongoing commentary offer insights into the perceptions surrounding team decisions and performance. While fans' opinions vary widely, they reflect the stakes of every matchup and the emotional investment in the team's journey. Analysts and content creators continuously interpret trades, injuries, and game outcomes, offering perspectives that influence public perception and create a dynamic feedback loop that affects how the team is viewed both internally and externally. Understanding and responding to these pressures is part of the modern NFL experience, and the Bears organization must balance transparency, strategy, and public expectations as the season unfolds. Looking ahead, the combination of tactical adjustments, player growth, and strategic planning will shape the Bears' trajectory. Challenges such as elite divisional opponents, injuries, and roster limitations require adaptability, resilience, and creativity from both players and coaches. Each week presents opportunities for the team to demonstrate cohesion, execution, and competitive spirit. Maintaining focus on fundamentals while incorporating innovative strategies will be key to sustaining performance and competing at a high level. Every snap, every decision, and every matchup contributes to a season-long narrative that is both complex and compelling, reflecting the relentless nature of professional football and the drive to achieve excellence in a highly competitive environment. Ultimately, the Chicago Bears season will be defined by the interplay of talent, preparation, and adaptability. The team faces a variety of challenges, from managing the pressures of divisional matchups to developing young talent, all while remaining competitive in a league where margins are razor-thin. Every aspect of the organization, from coaching to player execution to strategic planning, contributes to the unfolding story of the season. Fans, analysts, and players alike will witness how the Bears navigate these challenges, respond to adversity, and pursue success week after week. The journey is as much about growth, resilience, and preparation as it is about victories and statistics, and each game adds a new chapter to the evolving narrative of a team striving to achieve its full potential in one of the most demanding sports environments in the world. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. This is a team at a crossroads, facing both opportunity and adversity in equal measure. The early weeks will set the tone for the season, and every adjustment, whether in practice, on game day, or in strategic planning, carries weight. The coaching staff's ability to prepare the team, develop talent, and make in-game decisions will be just as important as the players' ability to perform under pressure. The Bears fans can expect intense, closely contested matchups, moments of brilliance, and the occasional challenge that tests the team's resolve. Navigating these challenges successfully could define the trajectory of the season and set the stage for long-term growth and competitiveness in the league. As we continue to explore the landscape for the Chicago Bears this season, it's impossible to ignore the significance of the team's depth and how critical it will be in navigating both the regular season and divisional matchups. Injuries are always a factor in football, and the Bears' current roster demonstrates that while there is talent present, the margin for error is thin. Young players will need to step up in key moments, and the veterans on the squad will be called upon to provide leadership and stability. For example, the offensive line remains under scrutiny, especially with challenging matchups looming against elite pass rushers in the division. Every snap is an opportunity, but it also represents a potential challenge, and the team's ability to adjust protection schemes and provide additional support will be essential to keeping the quarterback upright and allowing the offense to function efficiently. The defensive line, meanwhile, presents another layer of intrigue. The absence of a player like Micah Parsons on the roster forces the Bears to reconsider how they generate pressure and defend against top-tier quarterbacks. While there are rotational players who can contribute in limited snaps, the team will need consistent impact performances from edge rushers and interior linemen alike. Players such as Montessuat and Dombois are expected to make tangible contributions, but consistency is key. The Bears' defensive coordinator faces the complex task of balancing immediate performance with player development, all while countering some of the most dynamic offenses in the league. Situational awareness, pre-snap adjustments, and creative scheming will be crucial as the Bears aim to remain competitive in a division where every game is a statement about strength, adaptability, and strategy. Beyond individual matchups, team chemistry is another essential component that will influence outcomes throughout the season. The relationship between the quarterback and his receiving core, as well as the synchronization between offensive linemen and skill position players, will determine the efficiency of the passing game. Timing routes, protection calls, and in-game adjustments will all demand high levels of communication and focus. On the other side of the ball, defensive cohesion will be tested against both high-powered passing attacks and versatile running games. The Bears' ability to read opposing offenses, adapt quickly, and execute disciplined coverage schemes will be a constant factor in determining success. Every game will provide insights into how well the team functions as a unit, and early season performances will offer clues about whether the Bears can contend in the NFC North. Special teams also play an understated but significant role in the season's trajectory. Field position, return efficiency, and kicking consistency can turn the tide of close games. While often overlooked in highlight reels, the contributions of punters, kickers, and coverage teams directly impact the field dynamics and the margin for error in critical moments. In a league where games are frequently decided by a single possession, excellence in these areas cannot be underestimated. The Bears' coaching staff will need to ensure that practice routines emphasize precision and situational awareness, allowing special teams to function as an extension of both the offense and defense rather than as isolated units. Tyreek Hill's potential arrival at the Chicago Bears has been the subject of intense speculation for weeks, but now, sources close to the wide receiver confirm that the explosive player is indeed set to join the Bears. The rumor mill has been churning since the offseason began, with analysts and fans alike debating how Hill's game-changing speed and playmaking ability could reshape the Bears' offensive strategies. Hill's arrival would not only bolster an already talented receiving core, but could fundamentally alter the way opposing defenses prepare for Chicago, forcing them to account for his breakaway speed on every snap. While official announcements are still pending, insiders suggest that contractual discussions are in the final stages and that Hill's motivation to join a team with championship aspirations played a pivotal role in the deal. The Bears front office is reportedly ecstatic about the potential addition, seeing Hill as the missing piece in a roster that has shown flashes of brilliance but lacked the explosiveness required to dominate in the modern NFL landscape. Fans have taken to social media with a mix of disbelief and excitement, debating how Hill's presence could impact Justin Fields' passing options and overall offensive efficiency, with some speculating that this move signals the start of a more aggressive team-building approach from the Bears. The ripple effects of this signing could extend far beyond the city of Chicago, as rival teams start strategizing against one of the fastest players in the league. The strategic implications of Tyreek Hill joining the Bears cannot be overstated, as his speed and versatility introduce a whole new dimension to the team's offensive playbook. Sources close to the coaching staff indicate that play designs have already begun to incorporate Hill's unique skill set, with an emphasis on vertical threats and misdirection plays that exploit defensive overcommitment. Analysts argue that Hill's ability to stretch the field could open up intermediate routes for other receivers, creating a cascading effect on offensive efficiency that could redefine the Bears' identity for years. Beyond the XS and OS, Hill's presence brings an intangible element of fearlessness and confidence that has been lacking in recent Bears seasons. Reports suggest that the locker room is buzzing with anticipation as veteran players see Hill not just as a teammate, but as a catalyst for cultural and competitive transformation. Speculation has also emerged regarding how Hill's contract and potential incentives might reflect the team's long-term commitment to building around him, with financial experts noting that such a move could signal a broader strategic pivot in resource allocation. Meanwhile, rival teams in the NFC North are reportedly scrambling to adjust their defensive schematics, aware that conventional coverage schemes may no longer suffice against a player of Hill's caliber. Betting lines and fantasy projections have already begun to reflect the likely impact, reinforcing the notion that this signing is more than a simple acquisition. It is a statement of intent. Tyreek Hill's rumored move to the Chicago Bears is sparking debates not just on tactics, but on leadership dynamics and team chemistry. Sources familiar with the organization suggest that Hill's arrival could dramatically influence Justin Fields' development, offering a reliable deep threat while simultaneously easing coverage pressure on other skill position players. Conversations among NFL insiders indicate that Hill's presence might also challenge the Bears' offensive coordinator to innovate in ways previously unexplored, potentially integrating more creative pre-snap motion, layered route concepts, and explosive gadget plays. While Hill is primarily celebrated for his game-breaking speed, insiders note that his football IQ and ability to read defenses make him a dual threat capable of altering the trajectory of every drive. Off the field, Hill's reputation as a consummate professional and his experience in high-stakes playoff environments are seen as invaluable assets for a team striving to establish a winning culture. The rumor surrounding his signing has sparked social media campaigns and fan theories about how the Bears might restructure their offensive priorities, including the possibility of emphasizing quick-strike plays and high-tempo pacing to fully leverage Hill's skills. If confirmed, Hill's presence could inspire a renaissance in Chicago's football identity, encouraging a more aggressive, risk-taking approach that aligns with the team's long-term competitive ambitions. Sources also suggest that Hill's anticipated integration may influence draft strategies and future acquisitions, signaling a profound shift in organizational philosophy. Offensive analytics experts are reportedly fascinated by the prospect of Tyreek Hill in a Bears uniform, citing statistical models that predict a dramatic increase in yards per play and explosive scoring opportunities. Insiders claim that Hill's ability to accelerate and create separation in sub-2-second windows could redefine the metrics used to evaluate offensive efficiency in Chicago. Analysts speculate that defenses may need to allocate additional personnel to shadow Hill, creating mismatches and freeing up space for other offensive weapons, ultimately enhancing the Bears' overall attack. Rumors from unnamed team sources suggest that Hill's signing tied of aspirations. Sources close to Hill hint that his preference for a team with a dynamic offensive philosophy and a quarterback capable of maximizing his deep threat abilities played a crucial role in the decision-making process. Analysts note that Hill's presence could accelerate Justin Fields' development, giving the young quarterback a reliable weapon and opening up creative play-calling opportunities that might have been previously unattainable. Industry insiders suggest that Hill's rumored signing is already impacting front office discussions regarding salary cap allocation, long-term roster planning, and the prioritization of supporting offensive talent. Fans are theorizing about the immediate impact on the Bears' win-loss record, playoff prospects, and even potential seeding advantages in the NFC, fueling heated debates across forums, podcasts, and social media platforms. Beyond the XS and OS, Hill's reputed work ethic and leadership qualities are expected to influence the locker room dynamic, inspiring both veteran and younger players to elevate their performance. While the official announcement has yet to be made, the speculation alone has generated an unprecedented level of engagement with Bears football, suggesting that Hill's arrival, should it be confirmed, represents far more than a single-player acquisition. It could signify a cultural and competitive shift for a franchise hungry to recapture relevance on the national stage. The ongoing buzz, fueled by unnamed sources and social media chatter, continues to intensify daily, ensuring that the rumor of Hill in Chicago remains one of the most captivating storylines in the NFL this year. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.